The pros: long battery life, comfortable keyboard, solid performance, convenient MagSafe power port. The cons: lackluster display, heavier than competitors. Verdict: the MacBook Air may not be a flagship notebook, but this 13-inch Ultra Portable is still a pretty good value. You may not have noticed, but Apple upgraded the MacBook Air in 2017. Specifically, the $999 13-inch notebook got a slightly speedier, 1.8 GHz Core i5 CPU, upgrading from a 1.6 GHz Core i5 processor. While we appreciate that the Air still has the best feeling keyboard on a Mac and its USB 3.0 ports don't send us shopping for dongles, this machine's low-res display holds it back. However, if you're looking for a relatively affordable Mac laptop, the Air is a solid choice. Design: often imitated, kinda outdated. Weighing 3.0 pounds and measuring 0.7 inches thick, the MacBook Air doesn't measure up well to more modern machines. The Acer Swift 7, 2.5 pounds, 0.4 inches, Asus ZenBook UX 330, 2.7 pounds, 0.5 inches, and 12-inch Apple MacBook, 2.0 pounds, 0.5 inches, are all lighter and thinner. The Air splits its dual USB 3.0 ports between its sides, with a MagSafe 2 charging connector and headphone jack on the left and an SDXC memory reader and Thunderbolt 2.0 port on the right. When you apply tension, this cable detaches more easily and safely than USB Type-C cables, which would pull a device down with it when snagged by a running pet or child. Display: aging vision. The MacBook's 1440 by 900 pixel screen has aged more poorly than any of its other aspects, lacking full HD and vibrant colors. The Air tries to make up for its color deficiency with brightness, emitting up to 336 nits. That's similar to the 340 nit 12-inch MacBook, and it outshines the 290 nit category average, the 319 nit Swift 7 and the 286 nit ZenBook UX 330. Unfortunately, this brightness isn't enough to produce solid viewing angles, as I saw color darken at 45 degrees to the left and right. The MacBook Air's 4.0 by 2.9-inch trackpad offers accurate tracking and a solid feel to each click. It's also arguably easier to use than those in Apple's 12-inch MacBook and MacBook Pros, as it actually moves. Performance: that'll do. The MacBook Air's Intel Core i5 5350U CPU and 8GB of RAM enable smooth and speedy multitasking. The MacBook Air notched a respectable score of 6,438 on the Geekbench 4 General Performance Test. That's close to the 6,565 category average, above the 5,519 from the Swift 7, Core i5 7Y54, 8GB of RAM, and below the 7,182 from the ZenBook UX 330, Core i5 7200U, 8GB of RAM, and the 6,853 from the 12-inch MacBook, Core M3 7Y32, 8GB of RAM. The MacBook Air's 128GB key solid-state drive copied a DVD's worth of files in just 24 seconds, for a rate of 212 Mbps. That's similar to the 215 Mbps category average and faster than the 116 Mbps from the Swift 7, 256GB SSD, and the 159 Mbps from the ZenBook UX 330, 256GB SSD. We recorded a much faster 467 Mbps from the 12-inch MacBook, 256GB SSD. Battery life, still great. Don't worry about lugging your power cable everywhere you go, because the MacBook Air's battery has your back. The MacBook Air lasted 10 hours and 26 minutes on the laptop mag battery test, web browsing at 100 nits, which is similar to the 1017 from the ZenBook UX 330 and longer than the 725 from the Swift 7, 725, the 929 recorded by the 12-inch MacBook and the 820 category average. Heat. The MacBook Air still does a good job of dispersing heat. Software. MacBook Air came running macOS Sierra, which brought Siri to the Mac, and it took less than an hour for us to install the recently released High Sierra. Unlike most of the PC laptops we review, macOS features zero bloatware. Platform-agnostic users can save $300 with a similarly configured Asus ZenBook UX 330, which boasts a brighter, more colorful panel. If you're partial to the Apple experience and want to keep the cost reasonable, you've got two options. If you plan to watch a lot of video and are constantly on the move, the 12-inch MacBook, which costs $300 more, will be best. Writers and other keyboard jockeys, though, will get the best experience on the 13-inch MacBook Air.